Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob's Nerdy Knives. We've got some hardware coming in that we were wanting to install on something. Let's do this. Alright, today I'm opening up my box from McNees Knives with my McNees Dixon. My little polished hollow grind there, and a little satin finished finishings on here. Let's see what we got in here. What do we have in here? Ooh, look at that satin finish. All right. Well, that's going to look nice. Ooh, Halloween. McNees Knives. I like that. Oh, I got the black marker from marking off the address. All right. So, this we're going to install into here. All right, so let's do that. Some of you guys may not know, I have hand polished this. And then I did a satin finish on here, which I like. I want it to kind of finish that up. I think all that dirt's from when I was polishing, doing the hand rub satin finish, probably got in the oil there. Let's see if this comes off. Okay, I'm gonna have to get my little stubby tool. Always need a little lower leverage. It always helps. So I don't need to remove the pivot. That can stay. Because the hardware that we have here so they have different colors. You know, some of them are satin finished. I was really hoping to polish this up to match the rest of the knife. And so now we have some nice, beautiful satin finish for the little screws. We're going to do the same for the clip here, so might as well take that off as well while we're at it. So these are going to be the new standoffs, the new pivot screws, the new clip screws, and the new body screws, all satin finished. It's going to look fantastic. I'm super excited. But before we do that, we're going to look one more time on here. I want to make sure, since I have full access to this now, that we've got a beautiful satin finish on there. So let's do that. So 1500, 1600 grit sandpaper, and then 600. 600 works best for the satin finish, I think. So I'm dealing with sort of like a recurve area here where it's a little hooked in, and I can't just flat sand it. So I have to find a little elevation. Now I'm sure some of you knife makers out there, you have other tricks, but this is the only thing I know of right now. And if you have tricks for this, let me know. Because there's just a little bit of imperfection there that I really would like to get rid of. It's almost like the titanium has some pitting, right? And you gotta get in there so you can get rid of that pitting. Kind of like when steel, when it rusts and it pits. I'm sure a belt would work so much better on this, but I don't want to do that. I want to kind of do the hand rub satin finish. I think we're really close. Okay, I think that's good for now. So now we've got the clip all done. We got to clean up here a little bit. Wet wipes I've found tend to get up with a lot of this titanium dust. Boy, that marker's permanent, huh? All right. Let's just clean this off in case there's dust on there. Which there is. Not surprisingly. And we'll clean it with some alcohol afterwards, but I just want to get most of the dust out. You can see that polished blade there. This cloth is almost at its end. Now I like to keep the flits because it has flits compound on there. I feel like I'm just kind of keep on using what's left over in the cloth. This is the 1600 grit. Let's try that real quick to see if that does anything. Yeah, probably have to redo that because of that. Oh well. Lesson learned. I should have done that first. Or tape the edges or something, I guess. Oh, that's nice. Rather like that. Just a little dull spot right there. Well, that's a little bit of a mess, right? Wasn't planning on making more titanium dust. think, well, we can fold it. Use this one more time. We'll clean this up with alcohol, and then we'll start to get ready to assemble. Since we're doing this, we might as well just do this one more time. I know some of you guys are going like, I thought you were just changing the hardware. Well, yeah, no. I figured I might as well just do a little extra. Why not? And since we do a second polish, I don't know if you saw the protein, but I really like the way that turned out. And I may polish that another time. Ultimately try to get a perfect shine on there, but it's getting close. And this one's getting close too, so I like it. What I do is I angle the blade down so that when I go over it, I'm not cutting my finger. Else it'll be like a mandolin or mandel. I don't know what those things that make potato chips. I don't want to slice my finger, right? I just want to polish the blade. Yeah, it looks a little nicer. You know me, I just like to have it a little polished, a little spiffed up. Looking a little nicer. All right. Let's clean up. Go wash my hands after this, but so I used 91, 92, whatever the highest isopropyl alcohol. I know some people use denatured alcohol. I think both are fine. I'm not a stickler about that. If you are, use what you want, right? I don't really care. And isopropyl alcohol works just fine for me. If you absolutely feel like you have to use the other one, go for it, man. I'm not gonna, but you are more than welcome to do you, right? For your knife, you use what you want. Don't let anybody else tell you not to. Still got some texture on there. It's not totally smooth, but it is a little more polished. I like that little milling texture. I don't mind that. Some people are like, oh, that's up to you, man. If you don't like it, you can get a modder to completely redo that, polish it up, and put a new texture on there. That's totally up to you. I like it, so I'm going to keep it. To me, it makes me feel like I have the original without the original. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a first-gen Dixon. Highly personally modified. Now, if you didn't know, I'm not a modder, okay? I just love my knife, right? So that's all there's to it. Now I'm going to try one thing. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's try it. No, it didn't work. I didn't know if I could get a little contrast out of that, because when I polished it, I took the laser etch that caused that out. Oh, let's do one more thing here. One last thing I need to do is clean my cage bearings. They're going to be dirty. So alcohol. I like to get it all in there. Okay, so yeah, they're nice and clean. They roll well. My hands are nice and clean too. There's a lot of alcohol on here. That's dust that's not coming off without some serious scrubbing. All right, so now comes the fun part. Oh boy, I've got no traction because of that alcohol. My hands are like so dry, and there's no traction. I had to lick my fingertip, sorry. There's no way I was going to get that open. Oh, this is going to be nice. Where's my... Oh, there we are. We'll put Loctite on later after we assemble, just make sure everything's nice together. Since we are replacing a lot of the hardware, I really want to make sure everything fits well together. Use some alcohol to clean this little stop pin. Oh, I didn't know McNees Knives has a flattened detent ball. Okay. At least on this guy. That's why they get the crisp detent. Ah. That is something I didn't realize. I had I've taken this knife apart several times, and I didn't realize that. That's pretty stinking cool. Ooh, like it. Really, really, really like it. Thank you, McNees Knives, Amy Johnson, for the satin hardware. I know there's some plans to put it up at some point. You haven't seen it there just yet, but I know they talked about it, so it's something you can ask about in the future. But I just thought that was really cool to put a little satin hardware on one of these originals. Now, typically, before I worked on this thing, this is, it's that darker color there, but put that satin finish on there. So look at that. With the hand satin edging, hand satin cut out here, hand satin clip. This is almost my silver Dixon. Maybe call it my Dynamite Dixon. I don't know. It sounds dumb, but I don't care. We'll call it what we want. We'll save the original hardware just in case. You never know when you could need some of that hardware. Never hurts to have backup hardware, you know, in case you're in a pinch, right? So you can get this hardware. It's all titanium, really well made stuff. Look at that. It was an awesome fit, perfect fit. So go to this website. I'll have a link for all the different hardware they have currently, right? If you guys ask, I mean, I don't know if you guys would be interested in getting the Satin hardware. If you want me, I could maybe say, hey, there seems to be a lot of interest. Maybe, I don't know if you guys want to list it anytime soon, because a lot of people are asking about it. Maybe you don't care. Maybe it doesn't really mean anything to you. And that's fine. It doesn't have to, right? You don't have to. I'm okay using these to clean up, to make sure it looks good. No problem on my part doing that. So I'm going to save this hardware. This is my Dixon hardware. Can't save that. That's ruined. And that'll be good packaging for another something. All right. Before, this is not quite the screaming one. They had one that had a beautiful, like, spiderweb pattern. It was a satin finish on the blade. Their satin, obviously, is very different. Mine's a polished. It's not even hand satin. It's just a polished kind of a blade. Still with the, I used a lot of flits to kind of take some of that acid wash off. You can see the handles are a little bit darker than like a satin finish might have been. And then you can see the hand satin right there. And then the hand satin in the back right here and under here. Not the high polish. I think I like the hand satin better. By the way, cool sticker. That might replace another McNees sticker on my wall of stickers, just so you know. But let's take a look at this guy. My hands are a little dirty, but you know, hey, whatever. So here we go. There's the high polish. I did do that, like a second pass on there. Here's the scale right here. Another polish. I used the 1600 grit sandpaper, and then I did some flits. Here's the new hardware, satin hardware. All right. Then we look at the back. This is the hand satin finished clip that I did. Again, 1600 with the flits, and then the new hardware. And then we have the new hardware with the standoffs right there. And then the hand satin edges all the way around, right? Even up here. And then the blade itself on the other side over here. Again, holograms polished out. I did do this a little bit earlier. You might still be able to see, yeah, the USA right there. You see that? And then on this side, you can see the, there's the McNees. Get the right angle. I don't know if you can see it. It says McNees right there. And then there's a USA flag. Well, McNees there. I guess the USA flag is over here. Yeah, oh, here's the USA flag right there. And then it says Magnacut right there. It's hard to see, but it's there. All right, let's go ahead and do our little shot here, because I think this is rather stunning, in my personal opinion. I do like this. I think it's a really nice looking one. All right, this was a lot of fun. So what did I do? For sandpaper, I use like 600 grit for the hand satin finished. I've heard people use 400 grit. I use 600. I like a little finer look. You can use 400. For the polishing blade, 1500. I thought it was 1600 grit. This is wet dry, so you could do wet or dry, which is really up to you, right? And then for the polishing, I use flits. Now this is supposed to last people years and years, but you do a lot of stuff with this. And I have one nasty cloth that has lots of flits on there. It's kind of caked up on there, but man, it's like I could almost just use the cloth, right? You know, if I wanted to, I could probably polish this blade right now just using this cloth. And of course, you're gonna probably get some dirty stuff. You're gonna get dust everywhere. I do recommend something cleaned up. You don't want to breathe that in. If you're doing like a buffer, like I have a belt sometimes, I'll work on the titanium scales, wear a mask, right? Here, you know, if you're a real crazy, messy person, you got fan blowing everywhere, wear a mask. If you don't have, if I have a fan blowing things down away from me, so I'm fine. I'm probably going to toss this one because it's all super powdery dust now, so that'll go in the trash. I use a lot of these microfiber cloths, so I have no problem throwing them out and using them. So yeah, this is getting to closer and closer to what I really like. Kind of like the satin one that I've always wanted. Almost pimped out like I want it. So here, just to give you a little idea, here's my blade show, my fancy one. And someday I may polish this blade too. I don't know. I like this because this is original, right? So still beautiful. But notice this has the satin hardware, the bronze hardware. I thought I might have put that in there, but I like the satin on this one. This kind of becomes almost a silver Dixon, an original silver Dixon. So I don't know. I like that. This is a hollow grind here as well on this one. I don't know if you can see that. So that's always something worth maybe considering. This one will definitely have the milling patterns on there. So there is that, and that sometimes can have a nice effect. Kind of like you can see the milling pattern here. I don't hate that. I really don't. I kind of dig it personally. The action's pretty good. Yeah, we're in there pretty solid. Got that nice close. I may put some Loctite after we're all said and done. Something similar I did on my Proteon. I did polish that. Now this is taking a lot of settings, but you can see the unique milling pattern here. You have this kind of step milled, and then you have this pattern radius for the hollow. It is rather beautiful, and I don't dislike, again, that milling pattern showing through here. It's very microscopic. Some people, it might bother them. I rather like it. It kind of gives the blade the character of what it was, right? So I rather enjoy that, personally. So same here. All right, very cool. That is the Dixon with new satin hardware. And I'll have a link for where you can order hardware. And if you really like the idea of the satin hardware, it's really beautiful like that. There's two things. You can polish your own hardware if you wanted to. That is one thing. Take a little while and be very careful, or you can buy this hardware. I think as of this video, I think it's like 79 bucks or 75 bucks, something like that. For all titanium, really nice, perfect. Look, it just fits great. No issues whatsoever. So to me, that's absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. All right, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the channel really helps out, allows me to produce more content, do more things for you. So thank you. Thank you to everyone out there who watches the videos, enjoys the content, part of the channel. I really do appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Maybe also consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the channel, it's huge. It's really huge, and I really do mean that. It allows the channel to grow. Just so many things. I know people ask all the time, but it's the way YouTube works. It's how the algorithm works. If you've already done that, and maybe you haven't all done this, maybe consider hitting the notification button too, so you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. Big shout out to my channel members. I appreciate you do two amazing things. You encourage me. Thank you. Thank you. And two, because your generous support of your memberships, you allow me to do things way sooner than I ever thought I could. Once a week, budget banger giveaways, borrow knives, be able to cover cost of shipping them back, all sorts of things like that. So thank you, guys. You guys are amazing out there. Appreciate you. As a way for me to say thank you, I want to do two things for channel members, brand new channel members. I want to send you a channel sticker and a thank you note. So if you're a brand new channel member, email me your name and address so I can mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note. Secondly, you're eligible for the once a month members exclusive giveaway. And yeah, that's something that happens every month. Each week, budget banger giveaway. With that 1 month, there'll be 2 giveaways. And you're eligible for both. Actually, a channel member has actually won that one time. So it's possible. That's my small way to say thank you. If any of that sounds interesting, cool, maybe you want to become a member, there is a link in the description down below. I have 3 different tiers. Would love to have you. Don't do it because you feel obligated or forced. Don't ever do that. Just be part of the channel. Enjoy the content. But if you happen to choose to do so, thank you. I'm honored. I'm blown away. And I appreciate you. And by the way, yeah, there is special emojis. There is 1 year, 2 year anniversaries. You do get kazoo salutes. You get all sorts of stuff, right? All sorts of stuff. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys so very much. So thank you. Thank you. All right. If you haven't already, maybe consider checking me out over on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.